Okay, round 6. Today is Friday, May 24th, 2024. We wanted to show you the inextricably intertwined relationship between, which is basically they're connected, they can't be separated. They have a partnership between Albert Freed, TD Securities, to certain related parties, including Les Levy, his father, which is Wolf Popper, the law firm, okay? And then here we go, Wolf Popper, two Bloombergs, and the police, North Cardwell residents. And so this doesn't make a lot of sense unless you read the legal filings, and you can see what's been happening over the past 15 years. So let me just kind of start off. This is going to be a series of videos. This video is going to show you pretty clearly how one thing leads to another based on the fact that I am a whistleblower. So let me just kind of get into it. So on Friday, December 1st, my legal counsel wanted to submit an affidavit at the request of OSHA investigator Mr. Durkin, who was assigned to my case on June 28th, 2017, my whistleblowing claim against Albert Freed. And so after the fact, just under 6 months later, we filed that affidavit, which I will show you, in addition to other filings that they submitted to the SEC and FINRA on that day. So I'll go over that also with you. So I just want to note here, which I say here, that there was wrongdoing by OSHA investigator, by the way, who has now moved from OSHA, which is the under the Department of Labor, to the Department of Homeland Security. So that happened after I basically whistleblew on him, recorded him doing the wrongdoing, including being responsible for dismissing my SOX claim at OSHA, which basically forced it to go to ALJ. So I have those recordings, including the fact that he does that to all SOX basically whistleblowers, and he says it himself that we want you to go to ALJ. And so, which makes no sense, because what's the point of having an investigator when the investigator does not investigate, number one. Number two, he doesn't investigate or have depositions or ask questions or have the respondents, in this case Albert Freed, come in. I showed him the securities violations, and he said that they are securities violations and they are engaging in securities fraud and they are criminal. But he says that he's not going to pursue this and file federal charges or file a federal claim in federal court against Albert Freed, because that's not what they do. So what do? They dismiss it. So I'll show that in other videos. I'm going off on that, but I just want to make sure that you understand the fact that OSHA is basically, when they have something obvious, then they file because they're trying to get press, publicity, to show that they're doing the work. They have all these filings and basically things on their website to show that they are whistleblower friendly when they are not. I will show all of that later on. So in this one, I'm not going to show that. I'm just kind of talking about it. I will show those details and evidence later on. So here is the filing that my legal counsel. One second. Okay. Filed. Okay. So here they are, starting with the affidavit. So here's the affidavit. You can see this filing. I'm not going to go through all 90 pages. It talks about all this. So this is the exhibits, including evidence of securities violations and fraud that he saw, and he did not look at. He could care less. Okay? So just FYI, they terminated this guy from TD Securities, who is now working, at that time, working for Point North. So he was a risk arbitrage analyst in Canada. So they got rid of him also, okay, FYI, Christopher Rankin, and here we go. That's one of my former clients. There we go. So, okay, thank you for listening, David. And he has been since for the past 7+ years. So you can see right here, right? Managing director. Okay, let's just blow this up. Merger arbitrage desk. Guess what? August 2017. I make the filing against them, and then they get rid of him to make sure that that position doesn't exist. So they're going to say, we did not retain Mr. Shah because we're not in that business. You're not in that business is nonsense. They are in the business because this is from their website on November 14th. Alternative investment strategies, trading, risk arbitrage, catalyst, event-driven opportunities. That's what I did. This is their link to their prime brokerage, TD Prime Services. That's what they did. That's what I did when I was at Albert Freed before they acquired them. And then I just showed you this guy that they terminated. Unfortunately, poor guy, they terminated, right? So they terminated this guy. He doesn't know what's going on. And so they terminated him after, 9+ years, right? 9 years. They terminated him to get rid of the evidence, cover up. So he covered Canadian names only. I covered US, Canadian, European names. And so they got rid of him because that's all part of the cover-up. So I just wanted to show you that that's one filing right there. Here is my signed notary public for that affidavit. I have it elsewhere, so it's also in here. So also I wanted to show you on December 1st, 2017, so here is the filing, okay? Also that they submitted this letter showing this is TD Securities, TD Bank, TD Prime Services, legal counsel, Jonathan Shapiro. Here we go. Thank you, David. Thanks for coming back. James Durkin. Here we go. That's him, Department of Labor. And so they're sending this letter saying this is the retaliatory. So you can see this. I'm not going to go over all of this. Explaining why they terminated this guy. Okay, so this is the letter in addition to what we just went over in the affidavit, supplemental to that. And then they also submitted this to the SEC and FINRA. So Ellen Corker, I recorded her. She's engaged in wrongdoing. I never spoke to Judith. So she's the contact for Judith Weinstock at the SEC. Judith Weinstock got this information. She did nothing at the SEC. Ellen and her colleague did something. I won't get into that right now. It's a long story. I recorded her wrongdoing. She contacted me. She basically shelved my whistleblowing claim and basically torpedoed any kind of SEC claim against that I have with our Freed TD Securities based on how that FINRA and the SEC works and work together. In addition to James Durkin from the OSHA communicating with them. So this is the filing. You can see what he submitted on. Let's just wait for it to load. Okay, so he submitted all this to her. Okay, them. Okay. And as well as my SEC whistleblowing claim that we filed in April of 2017, okay? Okay, my TCR, okay, right here, there we go. And so it shows all of this. So that's that filing. And so this is also something that they submitted, my attorney. By the way, it's Clyde Snow in Utah. And so Brent Baker was my attorney. Brent Baker, a former SEC attorney, FYI. You can see here. Brent Baker, okay? So he's a former SEC attorney that I hired for my whistleblowing claim. And basically he engaged in legal malpractice. That's a different video. I will share all those details with you, but at least he did this correctly to this part. So he talked about SFXE, okay, and then the pump and dump, and he explains this here, okay? So the actual stock price, market perform, okay, so he talks about all of this. This is all sent to the SEC and they did nothing. So they did nothing January 2019, 2018, more than tens of millions of dollars of lost money by shareholders, including my clients here. They're engaging in this conduct against me. They think it's funny, but they're also harassing me. But unfortunately, they lost a lot of money. My clients lost money, shareholders lost money, investors lost money in SFXE or SFX Entertainment. So this is detailed here in a brief summary to the SEC. Again on January 19th. So these are the filings that they submitted here. So that's what this is right here in this. I'm going to be posting this on my GoFundMe page. So now I also am going on Friday and driving to New York City because I have to make a filing. So against Les Levy, because that case is going on at the same time. And so let me just go over that with you. Okay, so that's this filing here. Okay, so I go into New York City. I'm showing it to you, and it says right here, 139 is this timestamp, December 1st. You can see the timestamp, 139. Okay, so I left here at 12 o'clock. I made this filing. Okay, this is in regards to basically legal payments, and I specifically am filing that I should not be paying these legal payments in light of the fact that these are the conversations I had with my lawyer, and they engaged in legal malpractice, and they basically cooperated with Les Levy and his father, who was also his counsel. So his father, Les Levy Sr., his father runs Wolf Popper right here. Okay, two law firms with two Bloombergs, which makes no sense, but that's what they do to stalk me collectively. So these two guys collectively are stalking me, and then they have essentially more than $60,000 to do that, and they have done so since 2013. So 11 years, that's all they do is do that, in addition to see my legal filings that I post, which are posted on Bloomberg as this was. Okay, so you can clearly see, okay, reimbursed. I did not, they wanted me to sign a release for not to sue them or malpractice. I am not going to do that. I didn't do that. So I let the court know. I let the judge know. So that's what that is. I want to make sure you understand why I'm driving into New York City. Okay. And so here we go. I want to make sure you understand this, because when I'm going there, I'm getting stalked while I'm going to the Southern District of New York to make this filing pro se, right? Pro se filing that I'm making. Okay, because now my attorney has left. Okay, I think it's pretty clear, but just so you understand, let me just summarize this for you. I'm making this filing, going to New York City to make this filing, in addition to what my other lawyer is doing as far as my litigation with Albert Freed TD Securities for my whistleblowing claim, as well as my SOX claim. So I have three things going on: Albert Freed, SOX, an SEC whistleblowing claim, separate situation, separate lawyers, and then my other lawyers who have left at Little and Robinson, which is now the civil litigation, which I prevailed, 15 out of 17 charges for defamation, tortious interference. I'm making a filing. I have to make this pro se. So I am not going through all the videos of the driving. I want to make sure you understand this. There's police 1, North Cardo Police, number 20, waiting at the school for me while I'm going at 12 o'clock. So they already know I'm going, because I'm communicating with them that I'm going to be going and making the filing and finding out how I need to be doing those filings, etc. So within a few minutes, there's police number 2 leaving my house, and they're right in front of me in a stage event. And they're pulling somebody over. I'm going over this before I go over the videos, because it's going to be difficult to go back and forth on what this is. Now there's an accident in front of me. This seems coincidental, but it's not clear to me, because there's a lot that has happened. Anyway, there's an accident, obviously delaying me, stalling me, but regardless of the fact, let's say it's coincidental. Fine, pass. Now there's a car waiting. There's other cars that are waiting as well during my route. That is always the case. Every time I go into New York City, if I'm visiting my attorneys or coming back or making a filing, going to court, If there's a hearing, whatever the case is, even going to work, which I'll talk about with Albert Freed, and coming home from work, that has been the case. So there's always people waiting. They're intentionally waiting. They're intentionally trying to intimidate me, trying to tell me that they're not going to stop, and I need to stop pursuing my legal claims. Bottom line here, okay? Now there's police number 3, clear harassment and stalking. He literally drives right in front of me, going super fast. Here's his license plate right there, SPA 4995, and obviously it's a New Jersey State Trooper connected for Wolf Popper because they represent the police pension funds in New Jersey and New York, and so they know that I'm making the filing. They are basically intercepting me as I'm doing and making the filing in federal court, Southern District of New York, federal court. FYI, everybody understands the significance of that and why this is so wrong that they're doing while I understand pro se, but regardless if I'm pro se or not, you can't harass somebody that's making a federal filing or any filing to the court, going or coming. And that's what they're doing, and that's what they have done over the past 7+ years, actually 11 years, as it relates to my other filings. Then you have Essex County Police paddy wagon, I call it, van driving past me. The video does not show it. I only speak about it because I missed him while he's driving past me. Then there's New York City sirens while I get into New York City, while I'm near the federal court, making a hand delivery to that. So, and then later on, there is also a firefighter. So FYI, the police pension fund also involves the police firefighter pension fund that Wolf Popper, the law firm, represents. As far as their clients, they basically are trying to make them money as far as securities violations and fraud. Irony here is that these guys are trying to make money for securities violations and fraud for the investments that these police and pension funds, police and firefighters and teachers pension funds have. So their job is to find the securities violations and fraud. And guess what? They've engaged in that. And then they basically are participating in covering up not only their wrongdoing, but also Anthony Kucinich and Albert Freed and TD Securities wrongdoing, because all of that is in the filing. And so these police and firefighters are basically protecting these people. Somebody high above are basically saying, you have a whistleblower here, and so just harass him while he's making these filings, in addition to at his home, which we'll show in other videos, as we've already started to show you in a few videos. Okay, so I say all this here, I just verbally said this to you. So I hand deliver this filing, as I said to you already. Okay, so let's go over these videos. One second, just give me a second here. Okay, so here we go, driving. Okay, so the first one is the one at the school. This is North Cardwell. At the school, no problem. Number 20. At the school, no problem. So I say no problem because he's not doing anything. He's just sitting there. But he's stalking me. He's waiting for me. FYI. Okay, so the next one is the North Cardwell, North Orange, excuse me. Okay, here we go. So you can see here that this is within a few minutes from me leaving the house. He literally is pulling somebody over right in front of me, and he's not speeding. So it's a stage event. This is Jeep from West Orange. The guy was not going fast at all. The guy was not going fast at all. 1240, okay? Okay, so that's 12:40 on December 1st, 2001. Okay, next one is the accident in front of me. As I said, let's give it a free pass, but I wanted to show it to you.
So boom, 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 right in front, 12:49.
Okay, all right, so there's an accident in front, fine. Okay, it's, for me, it's a red flag, but let's say it's innocent, it's coincidental, okay?
This guy waiting.
So this guy's waiting here.
It's a lady, black, African American, 12:50.
So that's the one that I caught. There were others. I missed it. Other videos show, all these videos show some of them, but I talk about it, but it does, you can't see it, so I'm not going to play it for you. There's no point. I have thousands of videos like that, so I rather play those videos to show you exactly what's happening rather than me saying that it's happening. Okay.
Guy with the sirens. State Trooper, SP.
Okay, you see, he's going so fast. He's literally going so fast that you can't pick up his license plate, and that's intentionally done that way, okay? But I caught it anyway, okay? I posted his license plate, and he's going literally, and they do this all the time. They drive past me with their sirens and lights on, hoping that my video or my camera does not capture them. I capture them probably 9 out of 10 times because I'm always on alert. There's only a few times that I have missed them, but I've caught them almost every time. And they still do it.
State Trooper, SP 4. So they're just in an accident. So where is this guy going? 4955, State Trooper. There was an accident behind me, and he drives right past the accident. You're gonna take 2 exits already. Instead, intimidation.
Here he is. Okay? He's going the other way. He just passed the accident, and he drove past me, and now what he does is decides that he wants to drive past me again. Okay? He wants to drive past me again to get basically a second dibs on it. Okay, there's another one, but you can't
Essex County van, 233. Look like a paddy wagon.
So I talk about it, but you can't see it. Unfortunately, he drove right past me very quickly.
Yeah, Presbyterian, 1817. Well, I don't know what you want me to do.
Okay. All right. So that's it. The firefighter here. Here we go. Later on.
2HW7 firefighter, GMC, Yukon, New Jersey, Silver.
Okay. All right. So we got the videos. All right, let's continue. Still on Friday, multiple examples of intercepting in my communications. All right, so I ordered a transcript from the Southern District of New York. My transcript of the trial. So Anthony Kucinich is away while I'm ordering this transcript, and the reason why it's relevant is because he was a defendant witness for Les Levy and his father. So I outlined what he did, including perjure himself during that witness testimony. So that basically ordering that transcript preserves that transcript for my trial from April 24, 2017 to April 27, 2017. And so he is basically going away while I am communicating with the court to order this transcript. So you can see here, he's away. While I'm contacting the court. Okay.
What's the least amount, ma'am?
All right, so I'm not going to go over all of this because it's a conversation with the court. Nothing else happens aside from him going on and off on his AOL instant message. So I was trying not to get distracted, but you can see going on and off. He's doing that, and the reason why he's doing that is because, and it's not because it's very faint, but that's what he's doing on and off instead of on Bloomberg. So you'll see it on Bloomberg. I have thousands of examples of that, so don't worry. But that's what he's doing while I'm ordering this transcript that basically will preserve the fact that he perjured himself during his witness testimony. So now, later on at 4 o'clock, I do catch him while I'm uploading shared files to my shared drive for my legal counsel at Clyde Snow. And so he does sign off, and then this is followed by Sal, who actually does the same thing, which is another former stock loan guy that was participating in all of this stuff. Okay, that's my mom. Let's move along.
We now see from the statement of defense that Mike Flynn was not freelancing. He had close coordination with the presidential.
So I am uploading right now. Clyde Snow, uploading.
The answer to Kristen Walker there is that, basically he said, I fired him because he lied to the vice president. It means that he, the president, knew that Flynn had done this, and yet...
There you go.
There you go. Oh, upload. Oh, upload.
Okay. This is the same guy. Same guy. Okay? Anthony Kucinich, Anthony Kucinich. See? Anthony Kucinich, Anthony Kucinich. Same guy. Okay? Listen to what I say.
Oh, upload. Upload 418, buddy.
So I'm no longer working for Albert Freed, and he's still intercepting my communications at home.
Again, there's a lot of going back in time today because Flynn has now been gone.
Post-termination retaliation. So I'm uploading, you can see that, and then you have other people. I think Sal is a little bit later on. He's on here. Okay, Sal.
Yeah.
That's me talking to my counsel, and I think that's when Sal logs off as well. So you have that, and then I talked to my counsel for a while, and at 6 o'clock I'm still uploading, and then we have a client, Paolo, right? This guy right here. Okay, Minicelli, Gabelli Funds, former client, and his partner, Ralph. Okay, so just so you understand, let me just walk you through his background. So my former client logs off, fine, no problem, isolated situation, but it's not because he keeps on doing it. And so, like I say here, they think it's funny. They've intercepted my communication for the past 7 years. They wasted thousands of hours of their time doing it intentionally, willfully, maliciously to retaliate against me. And I would just note, as I say in here, that Paolo left Gabelli years ago only to join Madoff. Before it blew up, only to rejoin Gabelli. I have countless videos showing him engaging in willful provocations on Bloomberg, specifically signing off and on when I have described Albert Freed as the mini Madoff to reporters and other parties, describing their prolonged securities violations and securities fraud in the context that Albert Freed was on the New York Stock Exchange for nearly 100 years and received a free pass for decades, and without New York Stock Exchange, SEC, and FINRA scrutiny or securities violations and fraud for the things that they were doing, just like Bernie Madoff did, since he was the former president of NASDAQ. Decades earlier, Madoff used his NASDAQ position to shield himself, as did Albert Freed, Mr. Freed, and Albert Freed, based on the evidence that I memorialized the 3.5 years working there, and the 7 years post-termination retaliation I and my family have been receiving to the present day. Okay, so he, a former employee of Madoff, finds it offensive. And the only reason why he finds it offensive is because he's intercepting my communications when I am describing Madoff. So he thinks it's funny, and he also thinks it's offensive because he used to be a former Madoff employee, okay, which has nothing to do with me. Me describing Albert Freed has nothing to do with him, okay? And if he's offended, then has nothing to do with me or Albert Freed or my whistleblowing claim. But for whatever reason, he hears this because he and other individuals, my former clients, my former colleagues, Albert Freed, TD Securities, related parties, are intercepting my communications, and they, in real time, and while I'm talking to reporters and other people, describing Albert Freed as a mini Madoff, that's when he tells me, I don't like that. And I'll show you those videos when that time comes. So I just want to let you know, that is why I mentioned him and isolated him, because that is what he's doing. Okay? He and others. So this is me uploading at 6 o'clock. Okay, I think it's the next one. There he is, right there. So I upload it, and there he is, right there. Okay, up to 6 o'clock. He logs off. Okay, and a minute to 2 minutes later, I get a spoof call. So all of this is related, all is the same. Okay, I get a spoof call. It's nobody. This is nobody. And so I received this all day. Good thing is I have been receiving it while I'm making these videos, so that would be just further evidence. So at least they stopped that part. But I have literally 11 plus years of these spoof calls while this is happening. So I'll be doing something on my computer, posting or uploading or downloading or doing something on my computer, they'll notify me on Bloomberg through intercepting communications, logging on and off. If I'm talking to somebody, they'll do that. And then there'll also be a call. So if I'm talking to somebody, including my lawyer, they'll basically just call me on the spoof call. Using spoof calls, these numbers don't mean anything. They're nobody. They're basically just putting random numbers and they're calling me. So, okay, that's what's happening. Okay, so I described that. Harassment. All right, so now we're on Saturday. So we're gonna take a break and start video number 2.